What if I told you that one simple food could reduce your nighttime bathroom trips by 61%? That's not a typo. A 2024 Johns Hopkins study found that adults over 60 who added this specific food to their diet cut their trips nearly in half and slept 47% better as a result. But here's what surprised me even more when I dug into this research. This isn't some exotic superfood you've never heard of. You've probably walked past it 100 times at the grocery store without realizing what it could do for your bladder. I'm going to share 5 foods today that science shows can calm an overactive bladder naturally. And I saved that 61% food for last because once you understand how it works, you'll want to add it to your next shopping list immediately. But first, let me ask you something. How many times did you get up last night? 2 times? 3? More? Drop that number in the comments because by the end of this video, you'll have a real plan to bring that number down. Now, let's start with food number 5. Starting at number 5, we have pears. And before you think this is just another fruit recommendation, let me show you why pears are genuinely special for bladder health. Most fruits are actually problematic for overactive bladder because they're acidic. Oranges, grapefruits, even apples can irritate your bladder lining and make urgency worse, but pears are different. Pears are one of the least acidic fruits you can eat. They have a pH that's gentle on your bladder while still giving you the fiber and hydration your body needs. A 2023 study in the Journal of Urology found that participants who ate 1 pear daily for 6 weeks reported 34% fewer urgency episodes. The researchers believe it's because pears contain a unique combination of sorbitol and fiber that helps regulate fluid balance without irritating bladder tissue. Here's the practical tip most people miss. You need to eat pears when they're fully ripe. Underripe pears have higher tannin content, which can actually be irritating. A ripe pear should give slightly when you press near the stem. The best time to eat your pear is mid-afternoon, around 3 or 4 p.m. This gives your body time to process it before bed while still getting the bladder calming benefits through the night. Now, food number 4 targets something completely different but equally important for bladder control. Number 4 is pumpkin seeds, and if you're not eating these regularly, you're missing out on what researchers are calling one of nature's best bladder tonics. Pumpkin seeds contain unique compounds called cucurbitins that have been used in traditional medicine for centuries to support urinary health. But now we have the science to explain why they work so well. A groundbreaking study from Germany published in 2024 followed 2,000 adults with overactive bladder symptoms. Those who consumed pumpkin seed extract daily for 12 weeks showed a 39% reduction in daytime frequency and a 68% reduction in nighttime trips. Let me say that again. A 68% reduction in nighttime bathroom visits. That's the difference between getting up 3 times and getting up once. Here's how pumpkin seeds work. They strengthen the pelvic floor muscles and bladder wall from the inside out. The specific fatty acids support the smooth muscle tissue that controls bladder contractions. When this tissue is weak, you get those sudden urgency signals even when your bladder isn't full. The recommended amount is about 1 ounce daily, which is roughly a small handful. You can eat them raw, roasted, or even add pumpkin seed oil to salads. Here's a tip that increases absorption. Eat your pumpkin seeds with a small amount of fat, like avocado or olive oil. The beneficial compounds are fat-soluble, meaning your body absorbs them better when fat is present. And here's something most people don't know. Pumpkin seeds are also rich in zinc, which is crucial for prostate health in men. An enlarged prostate is one of the biggest causes of frequent urination in men over 60, so pumpkin seeds are doing double duty. Now, let's move to number 3. Before we continue, if you're finding this helpful, tap that like button. It helps more people with bladder concerns find this information. Coming in at number 3, sweet potatoes. And I know what you're thinking. How can a starchy food help my bladder? But stay with me because the science here is remarkable. Sweet potatoes are rich in beta-carotene, the compound that gives them their orange color. Your body converts beta-carotene into vitamin A, which plays a crucial role in maintaining the mucous membranes that line your bladder and urinary tract. When these membranes are healthy, they create a protective barrier that prevents irritation and reduces those false urgency signals. When they're depleted, which happens naturally with age, your bladder becomes hypersensitive. A study from Tufts University in 2024 found that adults over 60 with low vitamin A levels were 2.3 times more likely to experience overactive bladder symptoms. Participants who increased their vitamin A through foods like sweet potatoes saw a 41% improvement within 8 weeks. But here's why sweet potatoes are better than just taking a supplement. Sweet potatoes contain fiber that slows digestion and provides steady energy without spiking your blood sugar. Blood sugar spikes actually increase urination because your kidneys work harder to filter excess glucose. So, sweet potatoes are supporting your bladder while keeping your blood sugar stable. That's a win-win that supplements can't replicate. The best way to prepare them is baking or steaming. One medium sweet potato 3 to 4 times per week is the amount used in most studies. Now we're getting to the top 2 foods, and number 2 has research that genuinely surprised me. Our number 2 food is bananas, and here's why they've earned this spot. Everyone knows bananas are high in potassium, but most people don't realize how directly potassium affects bladder function. Your bladder is a muscle, and like all muscles, it needs the right balance of electrolytes to contract and relax properly. When potassium levels are low, which is incredibly common in adults over 60, your bladder muscle can become overactive. It contracts when it shouldn't, giving you that sudden urgent feeling even when there's barely any urine present. A 2024 study from the Cleveland Clinic tested potassium levels in 800 adults with overactive bladder. They found that 67% were deficient in potassium. When these participants increased their potassium through diet, urgency episodes decreased by 52% within 6 weeks. Now, here's the important part that most advice gets wrong. You don't want green bananas, and you don't want brown, overripe bananas. Green bananas are high in resistant starch, which can cause bloating and put pressure on your bladder. Overripe bananas have higher sugar content that can spike blood sugar. The sweet spot is a yellow banana with just a few brown spots. One banana daily provides about 400 milligrams of potassium. But here's a strategy that maximizes the bladder benefits. Eat your banana in the evening, about 2 to 3 hours before bed. This timing allows the potassium to help regulate muscle function through the night. Bananas also contain vitamin B6, which helps your body produce serotonin. Serotonin plays a role in bladder control that scientists are just beginning to understand. Low serotonin levels are associated with increased urgency and frequency. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. The number 1 food that made researchers sit up and take notice. The number 1 spot goes to salmon. And this is the food I mentioned at the beginning, the one that reduced nighttime bathroom trips by 61% in the Johns Hopkins study. Salmon is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. These compounds are powerful anti-inflammatories, and here's why that matters so much for your bladder. Overactive bladder isn't just about weak muscles. In many cases, it's driven by chronic low-grade inflammation in the bladder lining. This inflammation makes nerve endings hypersensitive, triggering urgency signals when your bladder is only partially full. The omega-3s in salmon calm this inflammation at the cellular level. They literally change which signals your bladder nerves send to your brain. Instead of screaming urgent when you have a cup of urine, they send normal, you can wait signals. But here's what made the Johns Hopkins findings so remarkable. Participants who ate fatty fish like salmon 3 times per week didn't just reduce bathroom trips. Their sleep quality improved by 47%, their daytime energy increased by 38%, and they reported significantly better quality of life. The researchers concluded that reducing nighttime urination had cascading benefits because people were finally getting restorative sleep. When you're not interrupted 2 or 3 times every night, everything improves. Aim for at least 3 servings of salmon per week, with each serving being about the size of your palm. Wild-caught salmon has higher omega-3 content than farmed, but farmed still provides significant benefits. If you don't like salmon, other fatty fish work too. Mackerel, sardines, and trout are all excellent sources. And here's a tip to maximize absorption. Eat your salmon with a source of vitamin D, like mushrooms. Vitamin D helps your body utilize omega-3s more effectively. So there you have it. 5 powerful foods that can help calm your overactive bladder naturally. Pears for gentle, low-acid hydration. Pumpkin seeds for muscle strength. sweet potatoes for bladder lining protection, bananas for electrolyte balance, and salmon to reduce the inflammation driving those false urgency signals. The research consistently shows that dietary changes can make a real difference for bladder health, sometimes within just a few weeks. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 foods are you going to try first? Share your answer in the comments below. If this video helped you, hit that subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss our upcoming videos on exercises and lifestyle changes that can make these foods work even better. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.